What? What's going on, Cornerstoners? My name is Johnny Warbucks, and I'm here with Sir Puff-A-Lot, Kalishnikov Red. We are the Rappers Corner, and today we are sitting here with a legend, my man Kount Fif. Fif, how you doing, my man? How you doing?
I'm well, man. I'm well. Doing great. Living it up.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. What's going on in the world over there with Kount Fif, man? What's going on?
I'm always working, man. I got a new album I'm getting ready to put out pretty soon, actually. So I'm working steadily, staying busy.
You got new projects on top of new projects, huh?
Yep. Absolutely, man.
I think we're definitely at some point going to be talking about the most recent here in a moment.
Yeah.
I think one of the questions people have out there on their minds, man, is He-Man the best action figures ever? What's up with that?
Man, I have a lot of He-Man figures, man.
Yeah, I know.
Ma Dukes found them, and I knew I still had them she saved them over the years. I gave them all to my son and my daughter so they could play with them. But yeah, there's still some of them are still pretty good shape. Some of them are like the legs finally are giving out. I'm gonna need new rubber bands and shit and put them back together. But other than that, man, they're pretty great action figures.
Yo,
I was a big fan of action figures growing up.
Man, I was a big action figure. It's funny.
Who wasn't that?
Right.
Big on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle joints, man. That was my shit.
Oh, hell yes. I remember going to a birthday party and everybody got a Ninja Turtle figure at the birthday party. I got Casey Jones.
Yo,
so hype. I still got him.
Yo, that's dope.
And I gave him to Xavier because Xavier, my son, he's super big into Ninja Turtles, so he's upstairs watching it right now.
Yeah, I had collected all of my action figures and put them in a trash bag and had them in my closet somewhere or in storage or something. Yeah. I told my mom when I was real little, I was like, I want to give these to one of my kids when I get older, right?
Man.
And she was like, that sounds great, huh? And come to find out, she threw that shit out like that day.
Yo, I hear that story all the time about people's parents giving family members, like, oh, that went to your cousin. Or like, what do you mean? These were my toys, like gave them to my cousin and he's in a different country or like, it doesn't matter. Like
I'll be sending her pictures of those action figures now. I'll be like, you see how much this is worth?
Yeah, facts.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yep. But okay, so we got Kount Fif in the house, man, and the name Kount Fif. I'm curious about that. That's an interesting name, dog. I love it. What's up with Kount Fif? Why Kount Fif, man?
There's a long story, kind of drawn out to that, man. I mean, it's I guess I used to be when I first started rapping. It's a funny name, like it was King Element the Fifth. So it was like Fifth Element, and then it's kind of like the style, like where it's just universal style. There's no like, it's not like no father, but like I definitely have influences, but it's more of just a universal style that I have, and it's diverse. So I always kind of shined with that. This is when I first started this shit. It was more into, I was rapping. So I wanted to make beats. I was drumming. I always could play instruments, keys and drums. I've always been playing since I was a kid. 5 years old was the first time I touched the drum set. My father was in a band, and he traveled. He passed away when I was really young. He was on tour. So I think the name just comes from having a really good background of music, period, all genres, having very open mind to a lot of different types of music, and then just the knowledge in the school that I went to, just learning about music, everything kind of culminated. So my beats have always been, I think, based like on arrangement, and like I'm more like a count, you know what I mean? Like a composer.
And we're looking at your studio right there behind you.
Yeah, this is actually my studio here. I'm not here today, but this is the actual studio I work in for Man Bites Dog Records. You can see we've got some of the old records that we did, the CDs and what have you on the wall. We've got other stuff all in here, but yeah, man, the Fifth, like I said, just kind of stuck with me. When I was still kind of rapping and producing, I was going by Kount Fif. I think we just all kind of, me and my partner and just my close peers just kind of came up with Kount, you know what I mean? Started just going with the Kount because I was like, that was just me. And it was like, it was also, on some gothic shit to a degree, but not, just because of the sound of, it was dark, music was, heavy and dark and hard hitting. So I think that was a part of it too. But yeah, sorry for the long-winded, long-winded answer on that one. Like I said, it's kind of deep, and this is the first time I've talked about my actual origin of my name in a long time. It's the first time someone's asked me about the name in a long time. But yeah,
I gotta, because we're talking about. Well, first of all, the audience here should know what is it that you do. So you make beats, you flow, you.
So I don't rap anymore really like on record. I mean, I have for fun and worked with some of like my local cats that I kind of came up with and, I still work with and keep in touch. But I and it's fun for me like to rap and freestyle and shit because I'm nice. I've been told by a lot of like legendary rappers that I'm nice. So I know I'm nice. That's not what it's not the love that I really have for writing, and I would rather have other things take my time up. You know what I'm saying? I'm a producer. So not only just I make beats, but I'm a producer. So I work with artists. I can, mold a sound or create, have a sound. Like when I send beats to certain cats that I work with, it's usually the type that I know they're gonna like, and it's meant for them. It's so I think that kind of has a lot to do with it, or what I do, as far as the music shit. But I mean, I'm a musician, I'm a producer, musician, I'm an engineer, I master, I mix, and I do that a lot in my spare time, for a lot of different artists. I have a service. I do mixing and mastering for anyone, for any type of genre or music. I do record
even if they do vocals and stuff.
Yeah, we do all of that. I can record instruments,
that's
vocals,
very cool, man.
Mix all of it. I went to Full Sail University. It doesn't have the greatest reputation as far as like how the school is ran and stuff, but I got a lot out of it. In any situation I ever went into, I was always gonna milk it for what it was worth. You know what I mean? Especially spending all that money for school and knowing that that's what I wanted to do and not waste money going to a 4-year college and doing some bullshit that, because I was interested in psychology and sociology and ethics and stuff like that, right out of high school. So that was my senior year. I was taking college courses and shit. Only going to the local community college instead of going to high school my senior year, so I could get that shit going faster. So
that's wild, man.
The reason I bring that up is because the record store is Springfield Mall.
Yeah.
So this is like I frequent this store. Got some good vinyls. It's called Records and Rarities.
Yep.
Yeah. Rarities Records.
No, Records and Rarities, R&R. Yep.
Yo, shout out to R&R, man.
Yeah, man.
So, I, as a producer myself, I'm like, yo, I go there and that's a beautiful vinyls you got. This is where me and you started talking. You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely.
So, that was cool. So I knew about the record label, Man Bites Dog. I knew about that stuff. And I always kept in tabs, like, I'd go to the store, I see food you have. You had somebody there that was under the Man Bites Dog, and I showed my boy John there. And I was like, yo, this guy, he's around the way, got his stuff, got everything going on, man. And it, like, John, do you remember that CD I gave you?
Yeah, I still have it. I can't remember the name of the artist, man, because at the time, like, we were transitioning out of CDs, and like by this point I had the iPods and all that shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I was creating my music playlist through that and getting stuff digitally, but at the same time, like, he had it and he was like, you want to check this out? And I brought it and I listened to it in the whip. I don't remember who the fuck it was, man. Oh damn, It was a hot little CD too, man. I liked it.
We had a lot of artists and stuff. I mean, we've put out a lot of records, the record label over the years, man. So yeah, I mean, the record store was something that my partner Ryan, the owner RML, he started. And we were into vintage video games. It was actually like when we started Manassas, it was a skate shop. We were into that shit too, man. So like everything that we kind of grew up on, skating, hip hop, music, records, vinyl, CDs, tapes. I mean, video games, vintage video games, and the real shit. Like cool. I got emulators too. It's all cool, but it's nice having the physical shit.
The physical shit.
Skynet crashes the internet. You're not gonna be able to play online and shit anymore. So nah, but man, that store was I helped Ryan with that because I had retail experience. I even worked at Guitar Center for a few years. My nephew's a DJ. He kind of got me the gig when I was transitioning from trying to do real estate. And just I've done a lot. I've worn a lot of hats, but
that's a vibe, man.
It's the retail was cool for a little while, man, and it's fun working at a record store, and I actually help hand pick a lot of the shit that came in there. You know what I mean? Like we had a lot of shit to fill bins at one point, but we had a lot of shit that was fire, and still do. We know how to pick. We always knew what to get. What we thought was dope, and we thought people should be buying as far as like good records and good music. So yeah, I mean, that whole aspect of it was fun. So I helped manage and put a few of the stores together, and and it was a big part of my life up till pretty much like a year or two after COVID was up, because I was still working during all of that. I was actually the only one going in one day a week to do like the online stuff still with eBay, and transitioned right back into when the mall opened back up, and because it's a mall store and they're permanent now. So I mean, like they've got the arcade, and it's a great place, man. It's a legendary spot. It was a great part of my life. I'm not there working as the manager, or I help out maybe every once in a while, but I'm not really there as much anymore as far as working for the store. But yeah, man,
I'm just glad I met you there.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
And when we saw each other at the spot at that store with Chino XL, I was like, that's that small world, man. That's
the homie, man. Yeah, that's right, dude. Yeah, I remember coming outside and y'all slapping up. I was just like, yo, and that was a fucking awesome experience, man. That was my first time being at that DC affiliated hip hop museum. And my first time seeing Chino XL, seeing everybody that performed that night, that was my first time experiencing all that.
Yeah,
and I've been living and breathing Chino XL, and I have been living and breathing 9.
It's dope, bro.
So I mean, that experience for me was massive, and being able to kick it with you and other heads, like it really brought such an amazing sense of community, because like
feeling that cipher,
we were all there to experience it and enjoy it, and it was just love, and it was just enthusiasm for the music, for the culture, and for the spot, and for these artists.
It was special, man. It was intimate, man. Really cool.
Nothing like that ever before, right? I mean, not for me. I mean,
nothing like that in DC. Like that's something I thought was definitely a historical. Bringing those two together for a show. At the spot that it was at, the place had some great memorabilia. You know what I mean?
God, yeah, man. We were diving, getting lost in like all the jackets. Joe, the vinyl and the comic books and just everything in there, man, is just so dope, man. Shout out to the hip hop museum, hip hop shop store down in DC, man. If y'all haven't been there, y'all got to check that out too, man. With Man Bites Dog Records, man, how did that all formulate, dude? Like, what's sort of the backing on the creation of that?
So my partner Ryan, he's the head of it, man. Like he started it years ago. He had Flex Matthews. He had this cat named Mike the Finite. He had this cat named Cassius Flow, and a few others he was working with. But we came into the fold around 05, I think, and like we saw one of his flyers. He was heavily flyering like physical flyers on George Mason University.
Yeah.
He was bringing shows to Fairfax, so he brought Capadonna to the Firehouse, which is Miller's.
Fucking,
and
we used to perform there and shit.
Everybody used to rock there, man. And we brought a lot of shows there. Ryan was the first person to bring hip hop to that spot.
Yo, shout out to Ryan, man. Bless up, man. We were part of that movement, man. That's dope.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm sure you guys were around back then. Back in the day, you guys are babies. You guys are older or whatever, but you guys know what's up. That scene was crazy for a minute, so we jumped in like right after everything, kind of, because he brought a lot of cats to that spot, man. He brought like Lewis Logic and a lot of underground cats that weren't even, like and some people, some of those crowds were tough. Like it was some of those like college kids that were like booing cats, like I remember like K Beta and the Thundercats would perform, or like I said, they had that Capadonna, and everybody just wanted to see Capadonna. They didn't give a shit about anybody that was opening. Like it was back in those days, man, when it was a little bit more or a little less approachable, right?
That grassroots movement that has become such a part of the community today, right? Like that wasn't there. It was like, I want to see this artist, and everybody else is just some bullshit, right? But today, like even like at that show we went to, I was really excited about Blacklick, and I had never seen or heard that dude, and that was one of my favorite parts of the whole shit.
That's what I'm saying. And Blacklick's incredible. Like he's, I got work with him coming up. He's actually on my next record.
That's
we've been. I've had the song for a minute. I've just been sitting on it, trying to figure out, how I'm gonna place it on the next record. So
yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, he's a great man. He's incredible. He's done a lot of things too. He's got a big history with and it's Richmond. Like I have a lot of love for Richmond. Richmond's kind of like a second or third home, like between Baltimore and Richmond. Like, those two cities show hip hop a lot of love. And I love performing in those cities, you know what I mean? Because I have plenty of times, and it's like I said, it's home every time. I get more love there in DC. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Word, that's the truth.
Facts, though. Yeah, it's wild. You know,
glad that like you're still alive, man. Because here in the DMV, like it's always been like sad to say, but like this reputation of like everybody hates on everybody.
Yeah. It seems to be the way it is everywhere you go. That's what you hear. It's crabs in a barrel type of mentality where everybody's just. It's just everybody's clicked up and it's not open. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just not it's not like Atlanta.
No, but
for sure. And we're supposed to be the South.
Right. But this is why we're doing this pod, man. Because we're trying to break that whole.
Same here, man. I tried to break that, absolutely. I invited people out and put people on my guest list that I don't, that wouldn't normally would, like I try to reach out. I try to bring people together. It's tough.
There's so much talent here.
There is. It's ridiculous.
Untapped and slept on, man, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a big hip hop 50 event, last night. Some of my man, shout out to my man Lord Better, Meridian, and they performed. YU, those cats, there's a lot of DC heads there. I felt like there should have been some Man Bites Dog artists involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, my man Impulse should have probably been like,
amen.
But hey, again, we represent more of a worldwide type of thing, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't just consider ourselves just because of where we're from. It's not all, like you can't expand and be and be in other parts of the world, because that's kind of where we want to be. I mean, I have a lot of love overseas.
Yeah.
I'm the same way, because I South America, so I played my music in South America. It's always, you can't limit yourself to where you're at. Especially
Colombia had one of the biggest Wu-Tang shows ever.
Yeah, I know.
That shit was bananas.
Mexico has like a whole bunch, so it's like. And then you go to Europe. I listen to Polish rap, rap, German
fucking
rap.
hip hop all over the goddamn globe, man.
Like it's got its thing, man. You know, and that's that you got to keep it international and you got to keep it alive. And you know, I'm just really happy.
Absolutely.
And you know, you feed back to the community, and you know, a lot of people out here they claim to be hip hop, but they don't do nothing. You know what I mean? So,
Man, a lot of spectators, a lot of gatekeepers, man. They're out there, man, talking some shit, and it drives me nuts because a lot of those cats that are out there running their mouth, man, they do nothing but fucking voice their opinions. They don't give back to the culture at all. They don't do any of that.
They don't build.
We're not building. Nah, it's all just, you know, what can you do for me? You know, it's money, it's transactional. Cats want to build and want to work with people. It's like, cause you know, I just put out a big record, man. It's got a lot of people, it's got a lot of legends on it. And I'm sorry, but I don't take that shit lightly anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yo, we've been doing this shit for a long time. These songs, you know, have been around for a while. That's why the, you know, the title is what it is, and we'll get to that, you know. But like, yeah.
Yo,
so,
that
man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, bless up, man. We're looking forward. Look, man, I've already kind of chopped it up a little bit with Impulse too. I'm looking to see him on the show. I'm looking to see Blacklick on the show. I'm in communication with him. It's get these people some shine and an opportunity for us to experience it and have that relationship and be able to build off of it. You know,
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
When we get into the to the album aspect of everything, I know that you I know that last one, man. There's some names on that list, bro.
Yeah, man.
I wanted to give you a second to kind of talk a little bit about some of the artists that you have worked with. Let people kind of understand what level you're at here, because these aren't just people I've seen through the grams, man. Like you've been with these people, you hung out with these people. It's not just on the phone, email, shopping, and shipping. I mean, there's probably a lot of that, but it's you have that connection to these heads. What are some of the artists that you've been working with, man, that you've done some work with?
So, the album that I just put out, you know, it's got a lot of big names on it. It's the cats that kind of the dudes that really I've always wanted to work with, and I did, I always said I was going to at one point, and I made it a come to fruition. But like, a lot of Wu-Tang guys, we had a record with You God that we were working on, Man Bites Dog. It was called Machine Gun Funk. We've got the files. I've got all the sessions right here on my hard drive. So I've still got all this unreleased You God verses,
What?
Yeah. I mean, I've got, the things that Yui was telling me that he was playing my shit for all the brothers and all, meth and, I mean, being close to my man, rest in peace. It's his birthday today. My man Mega, Young Omega, he would work with Knots, pretty heavily, and so I got in the chance to get in the studio with Knots and build with Knots. He actually remixed one of my songs for my album, City of School, that I did on Common NASA in 2019. We did a remix instrumental version that we put out afterwards, and he did that. So bless up to that. Sadat X. I mean, we're talking Nas, Killer Priest. We're talking Helter Skelter, Sean Price, rest in peace. Talking Onyx, Sonny Caesar from Onyx. We're talking Planet Asia, Action Bronson, Royce the 5'9", Vast Air. I did 4 or 5 beats on the Vast Air 2010 Cannibal Ox joint. Excuse me one second.
Daddy's doing a show.
That's cute though.
This is why I come over to your spot, Puff. This is why I do that.
Yeah, so
I got an 8-year-old at my house, man. Like, we always I either got to kick the family out to do remember the record, or I'm coming over here to Puff, so we have the privacy.
You got it. No, I feel you. Dude, so I mean, the names go on, man. I've worked with cats like the likes of like Last Emperor. You know what I mean? You don't hear too much about, but he did some pretty legendary songs, man. And I think was a heavy lyricist.
What's that?
Go.
Yo, you got atmosphere on there and shit, man.
Yeah, atmosphere on the record.
That's one of my favorite acts of all time, man.
Oh, I love
fucking
atmosphere for real. I met Slug and talked to him a bunch of different times, and because my dude I went to school with actually went to intern at Rhymesayers right after school.
Yeah.
So he built a relationship with all those guys in Minnesota, man, from Brother Ali down to Merce and everybody, man. So that whole side of things, the Def Jux side of things, building with Aesop and working with like I said with Uncommon NASA who did all of Def Jux's recording and mixing and stuff as well too. He was their engineer, so he worked with LP pretty heavy. So the degrees of separation are really close to a lot of people, man. I met Nas before. I got to talk to him before about it. It was brief and it was after a show, so it wasn't much to it, but I have touched palms with some of these guys, and it's been a blessing, the hip hop journey, man. Like it's 50 years now, so it's right.
Happy birthday, hip hop.
Believe longer than it's really big. It's been around longer than 50 years. We all know this.
Oh yeah. Man, the internet right now is like going in, dude. Like, cause they all talk. They try to kind of almost discrediting Curtis Blow and Kool Herc. Like,
correct.
We know about these other heads from the past, but like this was the bar that like created the set, right? So you got to have that line, but like we could go all the way back, like we could.
Oh yeah, you can go back to the man. Yeah, there's a lot of
talking about the dozens and all that. Like,
there's a lot of bands. There's a lot of bands. There's a lot of things rapping and the sound and the beats. Just I mean James Brown alone. You know what I'm saying? Was doing hip hop.
Godfather of Soul. He was daddy of hip hop too.
That's what I'm saying. Like whether they knew it or not, they was creating these break beats back then. It was
and equally wise, it was the poets, because it was a group that was just a cappella that used to just spit rhymes, and they were something called poets. I can't remember.
Last Poets?
Not the Last Poets. Maybe.
The Last Poets are one of them. They're dope too. You know what I'm saying?
But it was going back to the 70s and shit. So it's like, the way that you talk.
There's a band that was established in the 30s that put out a record in the 40s.
Yeah.
And they sounded like early. The song called Noah. Do you know what band I'm talking about?
What is it?
It's a quartet, and the song was called Noah. It's a gospel kind of record. They're telling the story of Noah, but it's 100% like them doing melody. And a lead dude is rapping like almost in the vein like this is like great granddaddy Bone Thugs and Harmony, right?
Wow.
And they got a video of it.
I believe. I believe it, man.
So like, look, we can go that way, but like, but like we gotta lay it down for the people,
Absolutely.
Have that line.
It's been a journey, man.
Been a journey, man. I think as a culture on certain aspects, we still need to mature. There's a lot of maturing that needs to happen in the culture, particularly in the communities, particularly online.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But ultimately, it's a beautiful thing, and it's just going to keep growing from here. And it's worldwide now, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And talking about some of the artists, right? Like we have a couple of podcasts that we do with the Rappers Corner. One of them is called Remember the Record. And Remember the Record, we kind of go back, and me and Red do it. So we like basically just chop it up and talk about records that we love. And it's just, it's an opportunity. It's sort of like a conversation we're having right now, right?
Sure.
But heads will relate to the topic fully because this is music that we've all grown up with.
Right.
And every January we do a Happy Wu Year. Right.
Oh, beautiful.
So we do a Wu-Tang record or a Wu-Tang affiliate record each January. And it had me looking at that roster that you got, right? And I wanted to kind of know, and I know it's kind of like picking children. I get it. But like of all the Wu-Tang members and the affiliates that you have either met or done sessions with, which one was the one though?
Well, I mean, I haven't actually been in a session with a lot of them. I've been around a lot of them a bunch of different times, but you got and Deck. I've been in session with Capadonna, Priest.
Yeah, I seen
and I mixed some of other, I mixed some Raekwon stuff, but as far as I mean, it's funny, to be completely honest. The first time I met you guys, I had to go in and help him. I had to kind of help him through a line. They asked me to go in and help him through a line.
Yo, dog, baby Yui, man.
So I was trying to help him spit over, and it was because he was. I walk into the first time I meet you guys. He's recording over one of my beats.
That's so crazy.
And I'm like, okay. So they're like, go help him, because he can't get this line right. And I'm like, all right. So I can go in.
That's so crazy.
These are facts. I wouldn't lie.
No.
Trying to, these are the gods, but you know what I mean? But like, I had to go do that.
Hey, look, man, we all do it. I write stuff right now where I'm like, yo, I'm having a little trouble. Like, usually I'll have it written. I'll be the one that writes it. But when I go to record it, something is off on the timing or the inflection or something.
Hey, man,
and Puff or Red will come in and be like, yo, just tweak this.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, recorded for 25 plus years, and they still.
Yeah, it happens to everybody, man. It happens to legends. Happens. To
yeah. No, not shame. Like I said, that's what I had to do.
I love that story, though, man. That's a great story, man.
So, and then we had these girls. I brought girls over that was supposed to be singing on the chorus and stuff, and it was a wild time, man. That's that's when we did the show with Necro. We brought Necro into the studio. I had a song that was going to be with Mr. Hyde and that I was producing for Mr. Hyde's record or something, and we ended up putting the song out over my beat, but it was on a like a mixtape or something years later, and it didn't have the You God verse, I don't think, on it. I can't remember if it did or not. He might have put it out with You God. I can't remember. I know they that was supposed to be, we had Just Law around at that time.
Fucking Just Law.
And Icon the Mike King at the time, Mike King or whatever he's going by now. He kind of dropped out and left, but yeah, I mean,
shout out to Pharaohs and that entire camp out there, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I have a record on the Swashbuckler with Perry and Just Law. I got a record on him as well too. Yeah, I've worked with I got a record with Immortal Technique. The whole Stronghold actually. I got a record with the whole Stronghold, but we never got to release. That was supposed to be on the Killer Priest 3-Day Theory album that I fully produced, but that it didn't happen. Poison Pen kind of came in and was like, yo, C-Rays was supposed to, I was like, C-Rays said he paid everybody and blah, blah, blah. Nah. So, yeah, never got permission to fully put that joint out. But yeah, man, we had we've had other bigger names that we were going to put on that album too. I won't mention, but there was definitely gonna be some big names on that Killer Priest album, man. It's gonna be a big, it's already still big to me, but you know what I mean. Like it was, as far as features and stuff, other extra features that would have been on it. It was big names.
Nice. That looks like, man. So how long you been doing this? How long? I mean, when did you start?
I kind of started like rapping in 99, and I started really kind of making beats around then too, like kind of 98, 99. Wow. And I think that's when I kind of really started realizing, and then started to really get. I got my first keyboard. It was the DJX, and I could make shit off of that. Nice. And then I was like, I could even sample from that thing, and then. Dope. Finally got recording rig. I started meeting with other cats. Peace to my man Shouter. Like he was had an MPC that my man let him hold, and we used to make shit over there, and we could record. And he actually had the software, and he was using the software off of an Atari computer.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was wild, man. that software was crazy. That first program.
I had an Atari ST with the music making program.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that thing was sick, man.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's a MIDI sequencer. Yeah, the MIDI sequencer.
It was. Yeah, and you could because we had the Roland JV10. It was a sound module, and we would run that. He'd run that into the MPC, and he'd sample from VHS, and he was getting Kung Fu flicks and doing all that because we played Let me tell you, let me talk about. I would almost consider myself one of the biggest Wu-Tang like heads, and not just Wu-Tang, like all of the affiliates,
everybody,
and down to like Camouflage Lodge or like Royal Fam,
the Beggars, Black Knights, all of that.
Yeah,
we me and Red are studiers, man. What's a Wu Syndicate out here in VA?
I don't know if you guys remember, man, but there was a dude from like the Netherlands or Sweden. His name was Hauser.
Yeah, I remember.
He had a streaming website where you could go in. He used to have all the most underground Wu stuff, the stuff before it was released. I mean, he had Mighty Healthy. Like, we were streaming Mighty Healthy before it came out. Like maybe 3 years before it came out, man.
Unfortunately, I don't know about that, but yeah, my favorite, and I'm talking to right now, I heard it's Killer Army, and I'm trying to get Don Pacino to actually get down and collab with me. And
my man Dub Sonata is really close with Dom. Him and my man Double AB. They're both really close with Dom. I never actually built with him, but man, I've always been a huge fan of his work and obviously Killer Army, man.
So that whole crew is
all the bills though. Like who is it? Is it Sons of Man? No, it's not the Doge Ambrosia.
That's Black Knights.
Oh, that's Black Star.
Black Star. Black
Knights. Black Knights and the North Star.
And the North Star.
North Star. Yeah.
Black Knights.
I do remember that Hauser thing you're talking about, that streaming. That was crazy back in the day.
That's incredible. You remember that, sir, man. Like, that's incredible. Because let me tell you, I thought we were like, the only ones. I'm sure there was a lot of, like I said, there was a lot of people out there that if you was on it early. My dude, he had the internet early and was on it, man.
Yeah,
and that was the only way you could listen to stuff or peep stuff, and there was eventually you could download it. You know what I mean? And he would send out the links where you could download it. And this was back in before the AIM days and around the AIM, when you was instant messaging on AOL, man.
Yeah, I mean back then that was like Klishnikov. I remember it's like I used to work at a studio. We had the fast internet there. It was partially an internet. Fast, like a multicasting streaming business.
Oh, wow.
Before you started, that stuff. And we had a studio in there too that were demonstrating and stuff. So yeah, I remember these things, man.
That's awesome.
I remember all these guys you're talking about too.
Bro. Nah, it's incredible.
Yeah, you seem familiar to me too. I think I've probably crossed paths with you once before.
I'm sure, absolutely, bro. I feel the same way. Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like,
there's a powerful chance that we definitely linked up we definitely possibly linked up during those Firehouse days because you came up, started doing it around the time we did. So that means that we were in the same links.
Yeah, man.
I guarantee it. You ever do like go over to Zodiac House back in the day and all that? It was a part. It was like right next. It was like an adjacent thing from Firehouse.
Oh, it was
the peak, the Black Eye.
PJ, what the hell did he call it?
PJ Skidoos?
No, it was called something. It was right there on Main Street though. It was
Black Eyed Peas, right? No.
TJ. Oh my God!
They had that basement. They had that basement.
They used to do a lot of rock shows over there.
Yeah.
It was right around the corner. And my boys performed there a lot. Like
they would turn it into the Zodiac. So a couple of nights a week, they would turn it into the Zodiac House.
Okay.
And it was an open mic for MCs, and so. That was a lot of my stomping ground shit, man. That's where I was doing battles out there and shit. Like
that's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
we did the Killer Free show down there. It was like a hall. It was we like basically rented the hall out. And that place became like a bar at one point. You know. I remember going out there after, and I was like, that's where. Canibus came through once. We did a show, and then actually when Wu-Tang came through to the State Theater. They hit that spot afterwards because I came with Cap. And this is a hilarious ass story too. Cap gave me the hors d'oeuvre plate of like meats and deli meats and cheese, and like onions and and like he was like, yo, bring this, and so I was like, all right, fine, I'll meet y'all over there. So I literally knock on the bus, right, the door of the bus, and Divine answers the door, right. And I'm like, no. Cap told me to bring this plate back to the bus or whatever. And they were like, he's like, man, all right, come on, get on the bus. So I get on the bus and I'm waiting on there. And Cap throws me something to roll, So I'm sitting there, and then RZA jumps on, and then Deck, and then Jizza jumps on. He literally passes out right next to me.
No.
Like he literally like dove into the seat, and I'm like,
it's just gone.
He was conked out.
Yo.
And then, but Riz is like, "Ooh, I'm smoking tonight." He sees me, roving. I'm like, "Okay." Yui finally gets on the bus and is like, "What are you doing here? Like, what are you doing on the bus? This is crazy. I haven't seen you in how long? You just show up on the bus." I'm like, "Cap." I was like, "Talk to Cap."
Yeah, I'm here with the hors d'oeuvres, man.
Yeah, I came with the dirt. I came with the dirt. I was like, I pointed at the plate hors d'oeuvres. I pointed at Cap. I was like, hey, talk to the man. I was like,
Count Fif charcuterie boy, man.
I talked to Deck because that's after we did the song. I'd worked with them all after at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a funny story.
No,
I got to talk to RZA and I told him that I did the record with Priest and he's familiar with it. And, it was cool, man. It got a little awkward, but it was weird. I mean, it was cool.
So, dude, I love that story, man. I appreciate you sharing that with us, man.
Yeah.
Let me do a segue question here, man. I think it's we get into a time here. I want to make sure that we're staying on it.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But you were saying that you play you're into like vintage and retro video games and shit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, did you I know this one isn't as retro as others, but did you ever get into the Mega Man series? You ever play Mega Man?
So Mega Man 2 is my favorite, man.
Yo, that was my favorite shit. God, yo,
I played that growing up heavy. I mean, I played 1 but I didn't have it. I had 2, and I had I think I had 3. I had 2 and 3 growing up, man.
Those two kind of changed the game.
Listen, I can never beat Mega Man.
Dude, I can beat I can beat all 11 of them bitches, man.
Dude, man. Dr. Wily's level.
Yo, Mega Man's hard, you go hard in the paint, man. Dr. Wily level, no joke.
I can't get past Dr. Wily, man.
Mega Man's hard. Mega Man's hard.
He has like planets when you get to him. It's a whole nother game when you get to him.
Yeah, you're like, what is this, man? It's a whole space station. Yo.
Yeah, so then you're like fighting. So you got to beat. I think I've only beaten 1 planet my whole life. I've never cleared the cheating codes and stuff, man. Like even with Game Genie, I couldn't beat it.
Game Genie.
Get out of here. I couldn't even beat it with Game Genie, dog. I'm telling you, that game is incredibly hard.
It's hard.
You call up the service line, Nintendo service line.
There's
bro. I did everything I could, man. I'd get the power, get the magazines, the power.
Nintendo Power.
Yeah, the Nintendo Power. Yeah, they had the whole telephone. You could call in.
Yeah, the hotline.
Yeah, the hotline. Yeah,
exactly. Like $10 a minute, man. Be like, you just need to put a bomb
my mom would have whooped my butt with calling.
I did it once. I did it once, and that was the last time I ever did it.
Last time, wasn't it?
I didn't ask for permission, and it was a month, end of the month, like a month later, like shit. I forgot all about it, But like, okay, because the reason why I'm bringing it up, man, is so like they did Mega Man 9 and 10. There was like a recreation of like that classic NES retro shit, right? And 9 was super dope. There was this character on there, and his name was Sheepman, right? And I was like, man, I don't really like all these cool ass robots. We got this fucking sheep robot, and his level was fucking wild because it was based on like fucking computers and electricity. And I was like, what the fuck is this sheep man and this computer? And it turns out that the whole shit is inspired by this author, Philip K. Dick. And
this
dystopian science fiction novel. He's got this book called "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" And let me ask you something. This rings a bell, yeah? Why did we name this album Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Like, what's up with that, man? Big Blade Runner fan? What's happening, man?
So it's funny you mentioned that. Absolutely, bro. I think the kind of the ongoing trend, at least to me, that I've had for this for this record for some time, is kind of a play on a greatest hits type of record that people are songs that they don't even realize like that they're sleeping on. These songs have been released before, but they've never been put on vinyl. And it's never been in a collective this way. So it's Do Androids Dream of Electronic Sheep. So I added a little switch to the name. Boom, but it's definitely based on that Philip K. Dick book. Blade Runner is the movie based on that book. And it's kind of a double entendre of things. It's like people are sleeping, the sheep. You do sleep, you dream of sheep. So that's kind of, it's like, hey, boom, here it is. So I didn't call it Kount Fif's greatest hits. I called it Do Androids Dream of Electronic Sheep.
I love it. I love it.
You can't really forget it. Like sticks in your head.
It sticks, right? Yeah, see, because a lot of people don't know about the book. A lot of people don't know about.
They know Blade Runner, right?
Yeah, some people don't even know that. They don't
know it's tied together. Yeah, you're right. They don't even know Blade Runner, right?
They don't even know it's. I mean, you have a whole new generation of people that don't read. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, and I'm artsy, man. Like I said, and I love to play on the stuff like that. My partner came up with the image, and I sent it to a guy and had it imagined, and he drew it over in Indonesia. And
vicious album cover, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that. I'm all about the artwork. I mean, my last record, Numero Un, had my man Kevin Lewis draw the art on that, and it's an incredible album art cover. I told him I wanted some funkadelic Bitches Brew, Miles Davis type shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you go back and look at that record cover, you kind of see the inspiration that I was going with that. Just kind of, again, diversity, the fifth element, like, yeah, man, there it is.
Yeah, shit is fucking fire. That's I know you talk about another album, but I wanted to pop that up.
Nah, that's all good. That's all good, bro.
I mean, I love it because you can see the entire tie-in to the whole that dystopian thing, but you sleep it. Yeah, the whole shit is fucking fire, dude. It's really nice. I like the digital texting that you chose for the title too. It looks like something that you would type in DOS or some shit. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, we wanted to go with the whole vibe, man.
Yeah, you nailed that out of the park.
Like Nine kept saying, some Blade Runner shit.
Blade Runner shit. Yo, so I mean, it's like you already named them, man. But we're talking like Helter Skelter, Nas.
Yeah, we did the Copywrite that story with Sean Price.
Yeah, what's up with that too?
Like we recorded that. I picked them up. That was actually recorded in the studio. Not this one. It was my old studio.
Yeah,
out here, right around the corner from where I'm actually stay now. But it was a wild night, man. Like that was, we went all the way to the show in Baltimore, picked them up after the show, and then which is almost like, you don't usually get just a Helter Skelter feature. You know what I'm saying? Nobody just gets a Helter Skelter feature like that. So we had to get like approval from Drew High, and like we had to kind of just make it work like that, right? So Rock was real cool with Ryan. So Rock and Sean, we grabbed them. We drove all the way back to the Wood, basically right around the corner from where I'm at right now. Still in Woodbridge,
Peace, Woodbridge.
We recorded. We played them the beats. They chose all the way back. They slept. Sean fell asleep, and he was snoring so heavy, it was crazy, scaring us. He was snoring so heavy, and I learned, he had sleep apnea, but like, and we thought he was fucking with us. He thought he was going to hop up, like as soon as somebody started laughing or something, they thought he was
crazy ass noise.
Hop up, because it was like, it was intense. fast. It was fast. Crazy. I've never seen nothing like it in my life. God rest the, bless the rest the dead. But you know what I mean? Like, yo, it was strong, man.
Your boy got to use the CPAP at night, man. So like I don't know. When I heard that, I love it. The fact that Sean P.
and we were just
sleeping the same way, man. Writing rhymes in the day, sleeping the same way, dude. I fucking feel that's so fucking crazy.
Crazy, man.
I wanna touch on some of the records here. We're gonna play a couple of them, I think, right?
Right.
Puff, do you already have that set up where we can do that? Okay.
Yeah, I got them over here. I got all three of them loaded.
Hey, Fif, is there a particular order that you want to go through, or is there something that you want to just lead off with, or you just want us to pick and go, or what?
I mean, you could just, man, I'm cool, man.
Okay.
All right. I want to start with just go through them. The first one I think I'm going to do is Impulse. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's a homie on the record. Is that Prize Horse?
Skinwalker.
Yeah, the Skinwalker Ranch joint. Yep.
Yeah.
So this is off his Astronaut Vision album that we put out. So that's basically the Prized Horse is on that. That's the original songs produced by Bronze Nazareth.
Shout out Bronze.
And then obviously we did the remix, which I actually worked with Slug back and forth with because it's like, it's again, he works with people that he's cool with, and he doesn't, he's very generous with his time and generous with his art, man. I'm
happy. I'm thrilled to hear that because, like, you get nervous sometimes. Some of these people that you kind of idolize growing up with, like, you meet them and they end up being some other type of way.
He's such a good dude, man. He's such a good dude.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah, he's like I said, very generous.
When we get to that record, man, I'm telling you, Slug came through with a thinker, man.
He did. He said some verses incredible. I love it too, man. I'm so glad I got to work that. But this is Fat Boy Sharif. It's on this, man. I don't know if you guys are familiar with his whole sound from New York. He's like he's from Flatbush. He's crazy with it, man. Like he's just different. And we found him kind of early on. He's blowing up, man. He's getting a lot of looks, you know what I mean? Because he's on some art, hip hop, and it's dark and it's characteristic, you know what I mean? Like so he's a figure, man. He's on my album as well too, but I felt like I wanted to highlight this one because this album again goes back to the name of the album, my album title, Do Androids Dream, man. Like, people sleep, bro. Gotta hear these records. These joints are fire.
That's love, man. That's love. We're gonna check out Impulse with Fat Boy Sharif. We're gonna listen to some Skinwalker Ranch right here, produced by my man Kount Fif. Let's check it out.
Let's go.
All right.
Peace to my man Ryan on the video.
They made a list at the top of it. Operate with paper clips. Redacted all the statements. Try and read it through the razor lips. Laser tips. Facilitate where secrets go to perish. National security is hidden in the barracks. It's embarrassing. What you need to know and what they'll never teach. Civilian observation has its limits. Never breach the deep-seated deep secret till it's declassified. Minus all important information of the mastermind's axe to grind. Swinging on the big tree, staring at a painting of two people wearing fig leaves. Blitzkrieg, digital angels, they hit pivotal angles and dip. Sit out to wrangle and zip tie the ankle. Simply nip it in the bud. It's the living Elmer Fudd, replicated in a station where it pays to sell your blood. Now, mum's the word, forget everything you've ever heard. Try and water plants out on Skinwalker Ranch. worry about invasion while they thinking about creation. Why control a population when it's easy to enslave them? Harvest them in hangers with the star-spangled banners. Keep us focused on the ground until it's too late. New age, they worry about invasion while we thinking about creation. Why control a population when it's easy to enslave them? Harvest them in hangers with the star-spangled banners. Keep us focused on the ground until it's too late. New age.
Time lapsing, portal, collapsing, immortal. Nighttime paradigm, so paranormal, drifting, spirit upon you, shapeshifter, green beams, getting ovation, shadow mutilation, sea star thesis, this'll be our secret, night ram, light sparkling in deeping, outlandish footage where Comcast couldn't, spy crafted, mastered within bulletproof creatures, parallel intro, animal sorta, cherry red windows, sky acid rain, mirror twice, black cross granite poltergeist.
We worry about invasion while they thinking about creation. Why control the population when it's easy to enslave them? Harvest them in hangers with the star-spangled banners. Keep them focused on the ground until it's too late. New age, worry about invasion while we thinking about creation. Why control the population when it's easy to enslave them? Harvest them in hangers with the star-spangled banners. Keep us focused on the ground until it's too late. New age.
That beat was sick, man.
Yo,
real quick question, man. I really love that shit. But what I forgot to ask this before we played the beat. What kind of programs do you use to make your beats?
So now I just strictly use pretty much the machine, Native Instruments, and Pro Tools. That's pretty much it, man. Like I'm rocking with the MK3. And I got my keys. I can play my keys. I got a little controller, a little DJ controller. So I got my 1200, my Technique still. So and then I got two computers that I use. I use the main one for the Pro Tools, and I use the other one for my production. So
that shit was on point, man. I love that beat. Everything was cool, but that beat really put me in the spot.
Music video was cool too. The whole thing, the videos, while like the flows were good, man, that beat though, I'm not gonna forget that beat. That was nice.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it sticks out. We wanted to do something that's what he said. It was like out of this world, spacey, spacey vibe. It's like, let's talk about something that kind of matches that topic. So the whole Skinwalker Ranch thing was kind of the way we went with it. With the whole. It was, and of course, Derek, you give him, my man Impulse, you give him a topic, he's gonna spin it and he's gonna do his thing with it, man. He killed it. Same with Fat Boy. Fat Boy killed it too, man. It gives you visuals. It's like a Killer Priest where they just paint pictures with the words. You know what I'm saying? So,
Fif is it was Impulse the one that started it off? Was he the one? That started it off?
It's his song. Yep, that's him doing the chorus. That's his verse, starts it, and then Fat Boy comes in at the end there. Yeah, that's the second verse. It's all kind of abstracty and, cherry red acid, cherry red window, acid rain.
Yeah, I love that part. That was my part. He Impulse, man, straight up and down. I'm gonna say this: if heads are fans of atmosphere and that sound. Yeah, Impulse, man, he is tapping into like early era slug shit. Like there's a lot of that kind of similarity and just like how he's doing it and the way it sounds, but he's talking about something completely different. It's his own shit. It's super fucking legit. I really fuck with the song like from start start to finish. You know
Thank
what I
you,
mean?
bro. Appreciate that.
I
Man.
love that almost celestial. Like, what is going on with that? That's not somebody singing. It's a synth. What is that?
Yeah, it's like
It's
a old type of 70s type of synth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It sounds like a Moog kind of.
Yeah, it's some shit from you know how they do in those old films in the 70s, bro. Had the best musical instruments. Like, oh my god, they were killing it, man.
Yeah,
you know, they were killing it with that shit.
Yeah, that's what it
That's
sounds
my
like.
favorite sound.
Yeah, man, I'm with it, man.
Moog is vicious that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Moogs, man.
This beat right here, bro, you fucking bodied this, man. This
Thank
shit.
you, man.
I was listening to this again. I've been listening to it a lot. I've been listening to it on Spotify. I've been listening to it on SoundCloud, on YouTube. I was listening to it on my whip this morning.
My man.
You know, I'm really fucking just this right here is fire. I can't wait for heads to hear this shit. Prized Horse is on point, man.
Yeah, it's man, you know, this is my most streamed song that I've ever released.
Word.
Oh, word. Nice.
Yeah,
I see why.
The momentum it has right now is crazy. Like,
that's good, man.
Because I'm not big on the streaming. You know, we like to do everything through Bandcamp and to get our money, physicals and stuff like that. Because I like to put everything on vinyl. So that's I'm not a huge, but I'm happy that, you know, again, I need people. The awareness is cool. You know, sometimes it doesn't always equate to what you want, but it's all good in due time. You know what I mean? That's why you got to stay consistent. That's why it's big on momentum. Like, you know what I mean? Because I've got press for it. So it's pushing, man. The skydiving thing I think was cool.
It's so crazy.
You know? So it's,
we're gonna have to talk about that too. Like, but let's peep it out, right? Let's see what's going on here. This video is crazy.
Yeah,
All right,
the skydiving.
All right, let's get started, gentlemen.
Shout out to Warren.
The pace can be a shock to the lungs. When a circle, plenty space for all the popular ones. With peak performance, singing praises after popping their gums. You know the faces, cause the bread from a very tight cloth is the prize horse. Pace can be a shock to the lungs. When a circle, plenty space for all the popular ones. With peak performance, singing praises after popping their gums. You know the faces, cause they bread from a very tight cloth is the prize horse.
Ever since I first lifted off, I've been orbiting. I'm not the best, but I'm blessed to still perform and keep running around the race course where your horses be. Put your whole envelope on number 43. Took a pull from a pipe full of northern greens. Took my picture in the mirror for some normalcy. Took my shot, but I hit the popcorn machine. Took a sip of your soul, it tastes orangey. We made love, but we was listening to Warren G. Regulate and take a look over your shoulder, please. Middle finger up for ICE and the border police. Middle of an iceberg is where my coordinates be. Where the days are shorter and the hornets freeze. I don't subscribe to the source of your sorcery. Got a lot of boundaries, blame it on the quarantine. I dedicate to stay away from fakes and the forgeries.
You can visit, welcome to the jungle, rumble, shooting biscuits, spy on what you saw. To the law, you become a zoo exhibit, lying on the floor, cause you denied your right to bear arms. Tonight's the night you stare off, to the lights are bright and there's God. Look, don't feed the animals round here, no need for cannibals. The avenues will famish you, push you 6 feet and vanish you. I close one eye and I arose in the clothes of the pharaoh. But I ain't need no gold for the arrow. I pointed up to the clouds and the joint is up in my mouth. Anointed clubs in the south, enjoy this blunt with the crowd. The pot grower, the issue 3 pot voter. The issue me or issue not, cause I forgot stoner. The pistol Pete with issue Glock from private stock loaner. Lock and loader, rock and roller, cheat on wifey, pocket phoner. Pop a boner for twice, but will not condone her. Her twat got that toxic odor, still knock if she got corona.
Since I was riding that Greyhound, I've been Santa's little helper. Starving like I'm broken, homeless, living famished in a shelter without a sandwich or a seltzer. And my grandma shit is Elsa. Breath control is expert though, I got some damages from Delta. And if you don't know my name by now, this lemon, it will help you. Bobby, the man is lit because I studied manuscripts from elders. My glands will spit some random shit, then sand begins to swelter. And this man begins to melt you. For spreading false hoods like you was Anderson and Stelter. You feckless little mice, talking reckless like you Ice-T, but fam, you're Richard Belzer. I'll run a train on your princess, a transit on your Zelda. Then slap it from the back just like your grandma did to Belcher. I'm going dumb and dumber, searching for my Frida Felcher. These rappers acting like they string a bell like Idris Elba. From Queens to welterweight, champion, I'll beat you till you need a helper. Rappers, be yourself, quit trying to be Griselda.
Ceremonial warning, I'm territorial. Surely you can't afford to lose shorty. I'll bury Gordy, you king in the robble. Squabble problems with prominent. Karma is a chameleon. Really hits you anonymous. Honest promises. Quarter, I caught him sleeping. Chasing a sacred carrot. I carry your rotten secret. Bottom feeders and non-believers desecrate the cornerstone. Swift defeaters gotta be the sweetest thing I've ever known. They'll never fit me for a dingy saddle, paddle, bridle, catch your rival, snatch your title, go ignore me, ask your idol, strategize with giants, buying real estate and inner space. Nutrients important, not the bitter way the dinner tastes. Imitation never seen as flattery. Quickly it's installed with some battery. Everybody on Matterby gotta be down at the break to break the only limits. Running every race and bet we taking every trophy with us. Chase can be a shock to the lungs. A winner circle, plenty space for all the popular ones. Repeat performance, singing phrases after popping in gums. You know the faces cause they bred from a very tight cloth. It's a prize source. Case can be a shock to the lungs. Winner circle, plenty space for all the popular ones. Repeat performance, singing phrases after popping they guns. You know the faces cause they bred from a very tight cloth. It's a surprise horse.
Fucking insane, dude. Like the whole record from the beginning to the ending, that fucking beat is just catacomb, just in the fucking darkness. It's evoking, you know, like bruh. And just everybody had a bar, everybody had a verse, man. That whole shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, everybody's verses are stellar for sure.
Yo, I love it. And let me tell you this too, man. Like me personally, I've always been afraid of heights, right? And so I have that vertigo, right? Just
right.
Like even like just getting on a ladder sometimes fuck the whole shit up, right?
Yeah.
And sure. I would force myself on the fucking roller coasters, particularly like, I mean, nowadays I think I would actually like have problems if I did it. But I would always put myself on that shit. Never bungee jumped, never jumped out of a plane. Put my feet over like the edge of the Grand Canyon, got a photo with it. But like, yo, the jumping out of a plane shit, bro. You're a fucking maniac, man.
Oh, it's fun, man. I can't wait to do it again. Like
your energy is in the video, you could tell like the whole time. You're just like, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. It was exhilarating, bro. Like, it's free, like I just want to fly. Like I wish I had a jetpack, you know, like I'd
be like a fucking Rocketeer.
Yeah, I straight like that, G. I mean, you know.
I will say this though, like your style of beats is that beats that I would have always loved to get down on. Like I'm really dark, right? So like those beats in my head, I'm like, I'm killing the people right in the evil stuck in me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bro. I got plenty of dark shit, so we'll definitely
we'll link up after this, man. Get some dark ass beats, man. Yo, Red, I'll get on that with you, man. That'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, you guys are wild. But yeah, man, I really like the drums on there. That was cool, man.
Thanks, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, I always, like I said, I love doing. I do a lot of breakbeat style stuff if I could. I try to switch it up, like I said, keep it diverse. And I liked breaking it down for when Sean comes in because it gives it that kind of that ant feel with the drums. You know what I mean? Like when he first starts rhyming, and it changes it up a little bit, then it drops back in with the breaks. You know, so yeah, I like change ups. I like to to keep stuff kind of, like I said, that's why I'm the Kount, because it's the way I arrange and the way I, bring stuff in. And I don't like, I do have my loop stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like I got simple loop stuff, but it's got to be special. The loop has got to be something that you can just continue to listen to over and over again. Hard to find those still, you know what I mean? People loop up stuff that I feel like it's like I would have passed on looping that, you know what I mean? It's a little repetitive.
Yeah, it gets stale.
It gets stale quick. It's like that. It's like that gum, that zebra, striped gum.
Yeah. 3 chews and it's done.
2 seconds, that flavor is gone.
Yo, you're the gun hustle, right? That record that you did where you got Royce on it.
Yeah.
You're talking about the transitions, right? Like for those, I'm telling heads, go and peep this Android album. But like that record in particular, I remember like as the verses progress, particularly like I think when Royce comes in,
it is
like it just switches. And it's not a hard switch. It's a progressive switch.
Transitioned,
Transition.
I think I
thought you did brilliant.
Like it
brilliant
stops. Yeah, I think that album put together, that Swashbuckler album that came on originally. It took a long time to put out and be official the way we did it. We had Bronze remix it, and I found that, but that version is the official version. Like we did switch the beat up. Like initially they all rhymed over that same loop.
Yeah.
And then I switched it up just to have it, when Royce comes in and Royce and Deck for when they finished it off. It was like,
I think the latter part of the record is like right when it's like my shit, man.
Yeah, drop is heavy.
That might be my favorite record on that album. I don't know,
man. That's what's up. That's love, because that song was a long time coming. I feel like the lineup is crazy. It's like unheard of. You know what I'm saying?
Like you get 9 opening, and you got Planet Asia. Like that right there is dope in itself.
Yeah.
Then you fucking get like Royce and Deck. I hadn't heard Gilly. That shit was tight too.
I'm big on the voices, man.
Yeah.
I'm big on voices, and voices are incredibly like important to me when it comes to sound. It's like we got. Like everybody I worked with has this, unique voice, distinctive voice. You know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah, dude. Yeah, you pick them, man. You know how to pick them.
Yeah. So, shall we play
Three Chillers? We got Copywrite, AWOL 1.
This is a single that I did. That we talked about. We whether we want to do a whole album together or not. But the 3 of us. So AWOL 1, if you're not familiar. Shapeshifters, like West Coast, Exhibit, Slug, he's worked with a lot of different artists, and he's a big art guy. He did the album cover for the Bumpy Knuckles and Knots project.
Whoa, okay.
He's done a lot of artwork for a lot of people you may not realize.
That's
he's incredible. His Speaker Face is his art platform.
Speakerface.
.com, I
got
fly gear, like the shirts that he makes are dope. Like, plus you'd be unique, you'd be the only one at the party with that shit on. So, shout out to the AWOL 1 and Copywrite. I got more work coming with Copy, on new albums. I gotta join out. Eventually, we'll be out before you know it.
Okay.
But,
shout out to Copywrite, one of the nastiest
slept on once again.
Thank you. I didn't want to disrespect because he doesn't get the credit.
Don't get me wrong.
He doesn't get the credit he deserves, man.
Facts.
I'm glad to hear he's still putting shit out. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, man. So this is a project that we did. It's just on some fun, wild shit. We did 2 songs. We put it on a lathe 7-inch and sold out, and it's gone forever. Man. And now you can still get it digitally, but yeah, man, it's streaming. You can stream it as well on all the platforms. But man, this is the word from our sponsor joint.
Now a word from our sponsor.
Yeah. Motherfucking 2, hey. Okay, check. Look, this is for cuffs of 70s babies whose parents did drugs heavily, baby, but still cherish the love when it seemed crazy. Shit, I swear to the altar on Christ, it's like I've been possessed by the ghost of Sean Price. On mics, I put the poster on, guys. Bought some Folgers flavored too, anal lube that I hope your mom likes. John Travolta on nights up Saturday. Tell police bad data, they ran that away. Scattered, say put the gat away. The pod lord gets porn, the broad's board gets on. Host giving joy, go get 'em boy. Foghorn, leghorn. Look, I do the voiceover for Morgan Freeman's life story. And torturing demons, my glory. Transformer more than meets the eye, Maury. Our Father, write stories like our arthritis is our author. Life stories type the scar readers from our horror. Get ripped apart in the dark by the monster. And now a word from our sponsor.
Cause I'm a 70s baby, born out of wedlock, an infant warlock, straight stone like a bedrock, and all these men are just cremated equal. Lifeless people giving birth to a prequel. We're creatures like tarantulas with wings and ripping apart MCs like fucking string cheese. I'm not dead, cause I'm not done. I got 6 livers working together as one, but in the veil of good news, my eyes are cosmic, a karmic comic, sick liquid vomit. Humanity is like a broken record. It's one that I ignored till I explored the reward because the music is hypodermic. Don't read the comments. Comparison culture kills positive content. Man, I'm strong, I'm tired of being wasted. I'll crack a tall can and laugh it in their faces. We got the tickets to the afterlife concert. One more encore, a word from our sponsor.
Sponsor.
Yeah, shout out to my man DJ Swab for that. Did the cuts on that. Swab, man, killed that. And then shout out to my man again, Brian, did all of our videos.
Oops, sorry, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh, nice. Start jamming. But nah, yeah. But yeah, my man Brian does all of our videos.
Hey, yo,
So,
Puff, get red, dude. All right.
He, shout out to him, man, for doing all that. Some of the film from the actual rides and stuff were his. Like the bird shot was his. Like he actually filmed that stuff. And so yeah.
No, I love it, dude.
Those
I love
cuts
it.
really nice. I mean, those cut DJ cuts, man.
Yeah.
Rob was dope. He works with like Rome Streets and like all these
Yeah.
new guys too. He's overseas.
Okay.
I dig it.
Yeah, beats chill, epic as always. That scratches were tight, man.
Your favorite,
MC was good too.
Yeah, that's a sample free that's a sample free joint too. So
favorite instrument
Oh,
gotta
nice.
be a piano, right? Like I mean, like you got
yeah, I
that.
use a lot of pianos.
You use piano and everything, like, and it's got to be like. I mean, me and Red always talk about it when we're like our favorite beats. Like they either have strings, they got horns, they got a piano. Man, they always got the drums, man. But it's like dude,
yeah. I use horns a lot. I use strings a lot. I use pianos.
you
bass.
use a lot of celestial shit too.
I do.
And we're
like
big on that too. Any of that kind of choir or
that
sort of celestial shit. Yeah.
That's it. Absolutely. So, organs, stuff
Yeah,
like
harpsichords, bells.
Yeah, we like bells.
very
Too.
big.
Yeah, we
I'm
like shout out to
huge
bells.
bells. I love bells.
Shout out to Kogo Monks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kogo Monks is big on bells too. Yeah, I dig it.
Man.
All
I
that.
love all that mystical sound and stuff,
Yeah.
man. Synthy, but like, just deep, man. I love deep sounding stuff,
Yeah,
man.
deep,
Things
man.
that moves you, it's gotta.
You know what it is though that I appreciate about your beats is that you're talking like you're about using a lot of deep sounding things, and that's a really dangerous thing to do unless you do it right.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is that like sometimes and a lot of good rappers get beats that are just amazing and too amazing to
For
be
them.
Yeah. Overpowers what they got to put on. Yeah.
And usually because they go over the top with the sound.
Yeah, no, I hear that, man.
But if you do it right, because it's not to the point where you're like takes away from the MC. I mean, and it's not where the MC takes away from.
Yeah.
Just
complement each other, right?
Right.
Yeah, harmony.
I'm sure that's being an MC first. I think that made a big difference on me, like making beats designed for rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
It was hard. It's hard for me to write to my own beats. I used to hate it. I can't. I have to write to other people's beats. Like I need inspiration.
That's how I feel. Like I like making my beats. It's hard for me to write to my own
They're for
beats.
other people. They're not for me. They like that's there because I make. It's like again, I'm like a Prince Paul or like a. Just a wherever I'm feeling like that day, that's how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Whatever mood I'm in.
Well, I know you say you don't still flow, but as like a MC and producer, unless it's like a certain kind of beat that I make for myself, myself to flow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is hard. It's like it's usually a loop. I'll find something and I'll catch it when I'm like, oh, it's early enough. And I loop it like in 2 seconds, and then I'm like, okay, I could write to this. I could write to this. But it's like,
I'm like, if I make a beat and I'm like, yo, this is tight.
I can't wait to rap to it. I knew you were gonna say that, Red. Like,
but if I make a beat that's like a B beat or a C beat, I'm like, all right, I can give this away.
Word.
No, man, you're always A1, Red.
See, I love the perspective. See, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, no, it is.
I wish I made a beat and was like, I could write like, the illest to that.
I can't wait to write to when I'm
making
it.
Like that.
Every time, it's funny when you were saying it, Fifth, immediately no one could tell. I'm looking directly like Red on the screen. I'm like, that's not Red is like, man, I'm working on this beat and I'm already like, while making the beat, I've already got the verse going on.
That's awesome. That's incredible, bro.
The record's done before he like actually mashes it down, mixes it down. Yeah.
He's like, I already wrote the song, and now I just got to put the touch-ups on the beat.
I just got to clean it up. So
finish the beat. I just
record to it and be like, no, I got to add to this a little bit more. Yeah.
I see, now that's ignorant, man. Screw not
everybody
writing. This guy's making beats and not writing at the same time.
He's basically got one hand on the keyboard and a pen in the other. He just cooking shit, just chopping it.
That's fire, man.
But it's just like when I go to make a beat, it's like I guess
like the mic.
So when I go to make a beat, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna make this beat and I'm just gonna go on with whatever goes on, right? But if obviously like John is like, yo, I want this beat this way, I'm like, all right, here's your beat. It's good to go. There's your beat. You know what I mean? But if I'm just gonna go to the computer, I'm just gonna start doing my thing. If I'm halfway feeling it, like on the way, I'm like, all right, I'm not giving this away. Like,
yeah.
This is
I have some joints I'm definitely still holding on to.
Right.
Hey, for real, the producer talk. Just one question I got for you. What about? Do you have any kind of formulas? Because I work with formulas like that I've developed over the years that I know I like to use certain kind of instruments, like certain kind of layering. And is there like, do you always try to approach it from all your experiences prior when you go to the next junks? Do you got like sometimes a go-to that you'll always just start as a basis? Or does it depend on the sample that you hear, or something you play, a melody you play, and then?
Yeah. I think I need the inspiration from like a melody usually before I even. Rarely do I'll do the drums first. I do drums first. Like,
Okay.
Again, I've done it all. I've done it all
Mm-hmm.
as far as the styles go, and it just depends. I think a lot. At this point, a lot of the times it's usually I'm directing it. I'm making it for something. It like has a like direct idea for. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I need this, like I just we have an artist that we're getting ready to release, and he's got a lot of big name producers and some pretty heavy hitting features on it. And I've got a joint on there, and I'm just surrounded amongst all these other legends that are on the project as well.
Wow.
But it's like he asked for something with guitars, and he came to me for something with like more of a rock guitar, more of a just more guitar type of beat. You know what I'm saying? So I sent him some stuff, and of course I make the list, and that's what I kind of do. It's more kind of stuff that's either consciously for a certain type of project, or it's for a certain artist.
Yeah.
So I'll go into my bag and however I feel like the formula happens. Like it's basically on listening to Xavier. Can't hear myself think here.
Yeah, I feel you though.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You do it for the project basically. Inspiration, and you're doing it for others. So it's different than just necessarily starting with I'm gonna do the drums first, make a bass line, then add in the accompaniment and all that kind of stuff.
I heard an interview recently with a producer too, where he mentioned he's like, I made 3 beats, 3 different styles every day for like forever. Like that's how he always would do it. He's like, I make like a kind of like a chop sample DJ Premier type of beat, then make like like introspective or kind of like jazzy, kind of live instrumentation type of beat, and then I make like a heavy sample, like soulful, like my style, what I love, just to have fun, free, like whatever. If I'm gonna just freestyle a beat, it's gonna be like on some soulful, just boom bappy, whatever type of shit, and I think that I definitely developed styles doing that and tried to do those kind of styles. Over the years. I would definitely practice or like I just recently did a whole project of beats. It's 23 beats, and I'm still figuring out how to release it. But it's called Trapped in the 90s, and it's basically I remixed a bunch of like boom bap songs that I loved growing up, and I thought that were popular and that were hits at one point in the 90s, and then I trapped them out. Just slowed it down, put trap drums to it.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Whether I kept the
Trapped in the
90s. That's dope.
So,
that's brilliant, man.
Oh, that's genius, dude.
Yeah,
that deserves a golden Emmy award, right?
Appreciate it, man.
Global.
Nah, and it's dope. It's fire.
This man is goddamn trophy.
Out like DJ Premier stuff, like to Tribe, to Wu-Tang, to Nas, to Onyx.
I would love to hear this, man.
Yo, I'm probably just gonna end up because I need to put it out. I just and before somebody steals the idea. I mean, because it's like, I mean, I've seen people already doing it, doing where they're flipping old songs.
Yeah, they're doing that with like
pop songs and stuff, but
3-6 Mafia type stuff.
That type of stuff where it's like, and I've always
on the techno, like the 3-6 Mafia on the techno.
Yeah, I've been taking techno too. That's the thing. Like it's like the techniques of like taking this type of samples and stuff. But yeah. The 90s joints, like the hip hop boom bap, trapping them in the night, and then like I took like fucking keep it clean, you know what I'm saying? Like flipping come clean. I mean, what am I saying? Come clean. Yeah, the J. Rue joint. Like I freak come clean. So it's like, trap that out, and it's bananas, like, and it's everything is just 808s and like, it's fire, man. So it's still tribal. It still hits. You know what I mean? Like everything has still got soul in it. You know what I mean? The way I trapped it. So I'm excited about that too. You know, I got a lot of work still coming, man.
So you got more stuff coming, right?
Oh yeah. The momentum is strong right now.
Very
Cool.
Is this something that's zipped up, or are you able to kind of let people know what's going on here in the future? Or are we gonna wait and see?
I'm waiting to see when how I'm gonna drop it. I kind of like master it and put it together and you know, but I have all the beats done for it. The mixes are pretty straight. I'm just deciding on whether I was gonna get artists to just do like kind of revamp, like do renditions of the songs, you know, like their own verses. You could still base it off of, you know, and use flows and do whatever, but keep it keep it original though at the same time, like, you know, like do different, you know, takes on topics or whatever. I just don't know how long that's going to take. And like I said, I'd like to just get this idea out. If I put it out there as an instrumental project and cats just want to take it and start doing their own projects to it and put it out, fuck yeah. I mean, I might even do something where like, yo, you know, do your best project to this. You ain't got to use all 23 songs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like take 10 of the best ones, do an album to it. I'll submit it and let's do it. Well, maybe we'll, you know, win something or do something, you know what I mean? Like, who knows? Coming up, I'm literally flying off the seat of my pants with this idea.
I love it.
But we are gonna put all your information in this video in the description below. So any links, you know, we'll make sure Johnny Warbucks over here catches up with you
for sure.
You know, and then you guys will forward me an email and I'll put it up so everyone can see.
Beautiful.
Fif, we absolutely appreciate you coming out on a Sunday morning, chop it up with us.
Yeah, man.
Thanks,
man. This has been really great, man. Is there any other shout outs or anything else you want to drop before we go ahead and shut it down? This is the longest episode of the Rappers Corner I think we've done, man.
Man, my apologies for
it's been so engaging the whole time. It's so fun, man.
Yeah, your content is awesome, brother.
Thank you, man.
It's a great show. I'm thrilled to have had you on here, man. This has been awesome, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm let me tell you, I'm blessed to be on, man, and thank you for the opportunity and your time as well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get a lot of interviews nowadays, and I don't do a lot of interviews nowadays. So it's, you know, again, it's, you know, thanks for having me as well, man. And,
man. I appreciate being able to meet you too, like for the first time over this video. So these guys met in person, but I haven't even met Fif until this interview. So that's pretty awesome, man.
That's pretty epic, bro. We'll meet in the
I like to stay in touch, brother.
Absolutely, bro. I agree, man. We'll all definitely need to stay in touch for sure, man, and get up in the flesh for sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good, brother.
Each other at that record store, man, because I feel like that's where everything started without us. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's tough.
Shout out to the record store.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, man. No, we'll link up, man. We try to catch you up in Nova, man. We try to catch you at a show, man.
Yeah. We'll have some stuff coming soon, man.
We look forward to it, man. We'll be at the next one, man. Just keep us keep in touch.
I'll keep you guys in touch for sure, man. Yeah. Shout out to my man Impulse. Shout out to Ryan, Man Bites Dog. Copywrite. You know, Chino XL. You know, he's been gracious. You know, shout out to
Chino XL.
You know, all these guys, man. That support and show love, you know, to my girl, my kids, you know, my brother Reggie, you know, so Def Reg, you know, so shout out to all my family, you know. That's
all
it,
the people that
man,
make it happen.
Yeah, all the people that make it happen. Shout you guys, man, for real.
Peace.
And shout out your fucking self, people that's listening, man.
Straight up.
God bless you. No, definitely. Thank you for everyone that's sponsoring.
At Kount Fif, you know, AKOUNTFIF, you know, I'm everywhere and nowhere at once.
That's all the social medias, man. That's Bandcamp, that's SoundCloud, that's streaming services, Spotify, everything. Kount Fif with a capital K. FIF, man. Dude.
Words. That's it.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, man. We appreciate you, man. My name is My name's Johnny Warbucks, and once again, I'm here with my man Puff and my man Kalishnikov Red. We are the Rappers Corner. Stay tuned for the next one. We got we have a bunch of other artists in line, and we can't wait to do this again, man. Fif, hope to have you back on down the line, man. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
Anytime, fellas. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Have a great one.
Happy Sunday. Peace.
Happy
Sunday. Peace.
Peace, Corner Stoners. We out.